Okay, so I would like you guys to introduce quickly to you guys Ashish Tiwari, who's also joined us here today. Ashish has been a very old hand in hospitality journalism, and he has kind of, you know, moved from, I think, 95, 96. Ashish, could you help me with the year when you started?
Yes, 2000, Feb 2000.
2000. Okay. So from 2000 onwards, he's been on the hospitality and beat, and he kind of currently ranks right on top when it comes to any information that you need regards to the hospitality segment. So anything, any person you need to know about, the go-to person is Mr. Tiwari.
Thanks for the kind words, Sumit. It's all because of the guidance that you and Sheldon gave me during the Express Hotelier and Caterer days. I think all the grounding happened back then in 2000 and 2005, and I really thank you both for taking me through the the insights and nitty-gritties of the industry.
Not
So
at all, Ashish. I mean,
you,
I think on the contrary, I mean, it's more that where how you stay connected with the industry and how much you kind of interact with the industry that keeps you there. Right.
thanks for the kind words.
Okay, are we good to start now?
Yeah. So, yes,
So
here
Vijay
is,
Kumar,
uh,
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
okay, please.
so yes, here is a very official start to this session. This is Cooker Dream Challenge. So I welcome all the new people whom I am seeing for the first time on this platform to Cooker Dream. So Cooker Dream is a culinary challenge. We call it a local to global culinary challenge, and this is being presented to you in association with Tourism and Hospitality Skill Council (THSC), and our hospitality partner is the Fern Hotels. Yeah, so it's a cookery contest along with some career guidance and some skill-based workshop, knowledge, skills, and attitude for the culinary world. It's to sensitize the younger generation about their scope in the world of food and in the culinary world. So I'm very, very proud and happy to welcome Mr. Salla Vijay Kumar to this session. So let me tell you something more about him. So Mr. Salla Vijay Kumar is a senior lecturer, Institute of Hotel Management, Ahmedabad, and pursuing his PhD in management. So he's the recipient of National Award for Excellence in Hospitality Education from Ministry of Tourism, Government of India. And he also has 3 Hospitality Excellence Awards from the Indian Hospitality Congress. Mr. Vijay Kumar has authored 3 books, among which are Food Production Management and Indian Cuisine 2020. There's another book that is a compilation of Attitude Conservation that received acknowledgement from none other than Mr. Sachin Tendulkar. So he, on the professional side or as a leader, he believes in taking the entry-level candidates under his wing and grooms them to raise them to the second line of experts to take over from him. So we will hear more about the entire session from Mr. Salla Vijay Kumar. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaste to all. Before I start, I want to thank 2 sets of people. One who are organizing this, Mr. Sumit and Ms. Deepa, ma'am. Thank you so much for getting this platform. And second, I must thank each one of you who is present. It's not the 8 sessions that I've gone through. It is more important that you are consistently coming out to learn something. So that is completely commendable. I must appreciate you before I start my class. And believe me, it's more of an interactive session. So as far as possible, I will try to see that you don't get too much of bookish knowledge. Okay. I will try also to see that there are no screenshots, not too many screenshots for literature that you're going to note down, but maybe you can actually keep it as Google Images. So nothing much about me. It is just that I'm a passer from 1996, ma'am has already mentioned. With this awards, I am also into one more thing which I thought I should add on. I'm also an academic writer. So next time you find my name on Google, there are a few articles which are published by Sumit ji also. So it's a pleasure to be there associated with one more forum. Thank you so much, sir. So we'll basically talk about the beginning, what cooking is all about. And everybody should agree that any good thing, whether it is cooking or your own self, starts with hygiene. So maybe I'll just put it out across with the presentation that I have. So please keep on putting your questions just in case in the chat box so that we can take it up in the later session. So I'll try and see that you can actually be well versed with what I'm trying to give you as a takeaway from today's session. Yeah. First of all, congratulations on making it all this way to all of you who are present here. Second, there is this photographs which are more explanatory than I actually mentioning it to you. I'm not sitting here to teach you cooking because you have come up your ranks with whatever grade you have, with whatever knowledge you have, whatever skill you have. I'm trying to equip yourself. If you can see the picture, it's very clear. I'm not teaching you how to cook. I'm going to equip you with what you need to have to be a better person or be a better cook. So we'll be entailing a few things in the process. First of all is the hygiene, which is coming under 3 different categories. First is the personal, the work area, and the food. We'll talk a little bit about the aims and objectives. I know many chefs have come across. You've come across many. Some of the knowledge which you already have, we are going to brush up most of the things. That's how we are going to go. We'll try and see what cooking is considered, why it's considered as an art, and what goes into the science when we are talking about the cooking. And definitely we'll be talking about you in some time. Don't write this answer. It doesn't get you any goodies on this part. It's just that, do you think hygiene is important? Is it important? Is it necessary? Is it advantageous? If anybody has a no, only then write in the chat. Otherwise, I know it is an yes. Because see, you'll write yes, so there will be 100 yes which are going to come into the chat box. Don't fill the chat box. Just write if it is a no and write your reason. I might be in a better position to answer you. So taking it a little further, everybody is aware about the Swachhata plan, why we need to have the hygiene. So we'll start one by one. See, first thing, please don't lie. See, how good are you at personal hygiene? Sir, I'm very good. Sir, I'm excellent. I do this, I do that. I'm very happy that all of you are lying. See, why I have written this Karmannike Vadegaraste Mavaleshu Kadachana. See, it is very good if somebody else does it to us. But what is important is we should do it for ourselves. See, very many people, they talk about personal hygiene. So they will definitely talk about your nails, they'll talk about your hair, they'll talk about your grooming, your taking bath. How many people actually talk about your clothing? Yeah, we are also talking about the inner clothing, please. I understand that. See, because what you normally see is mostly which is external, which is for the others. Please concentrate that when you take care of your own self, more than half of the things are done. So not emphasizing more on the personal hygiene, which I'm sure every one of us listening to and not listening to are going to adhere to. We'll go on to the next slide. Hygiene, because we are handling food, it's of the utmost concern. So what we're going to do, apart from having protective clothing, now that COVID has come, so you wash your hands. But please have this habit. Please have this habit of washing your hands before and after anything. Normally we have this tendency, if I can give an example, there are a lot of bacteria, we'll come on to the bacteria part also, which are there before you have your food. Just go back, rewind yourself, you're having your lunch, you go to wash your hands. Do you actually wash your hands? You only rinse them, mind you. You switch on the tap, you keep your hands underneath it, and what happens? After that, you don't use a towel, you don't use a handkerchief. What you do is you just wipe it up with your trousers, with mummy's pallu or whatever the clothes are there. So interestingly, what happens? There is more bacteria which has come from the cloth to your hand before you can actually have food. So why we insist on you having hand wash or you having soap to wash your hands? It's very important for you to wash out the bacteria, which is more important. When we come on to you being personally really nice, when you're presentable, there is one interesting thing which is coming exactly in the center. I don't know how many people can actually count. I think it's in the 4th from either side. Feel of confidence. See, you are having a trimmed haircut, you might look smart, you might look stylish. For the rest of the things also, you might actually be in a better posture. What good it is doing to you is the feel of confidence. See, once you are not well dressed, well presented, you feel that I don't know how I'm looking, I don't know what people will think about me. So what is the gist of what I'm trying to tell you now is that it's very simple. Please think about yourself first before you think about others. When you think about yourself, more than half of the process is already done. When you're talking about personal hygiene, so when you take care of yourself, first thing, it's going to be good to you, but it's taking care of more than what you're doing in the society. As Swachhta by origin, I think the government has done many policies of Swachh Bharat, Swachhta Seva, Swachhta Action Plan. There are a lot of policies by the government which are already been done. I'm sure many of you in schools or in bodies who have already contributed to the Swachhta. See, it's a very simple thing that I've just taken it. Have safe water, which is very important. That's the first thing that is contagious. Mind you, whatever happens, there are times when your stomach is upset because of having bad food, but it is the water which is more contagious than the food that you are having. Second, you have better sanitation. You're already taking care of your personal self. Kitchen management, will come to that, the work area hygiene that we are talking, and the disposal. These days, you already have a good habit of segregating the wet waste and the dry waste. There are color coding dustbins. There are even more color coded dustbins in the hospitals. We are not here to discuss on that. Okay, this is something that is something that you don't know. Knowing unknowingly, there are times when you have been into some of these activities, knowing unknowingly, because it's become habitual. What happens is you have this habit of picking your nose or putting something into your eye, ear, nose, whatever. So it actually is contagious. It is actually creating a problem for the food that you're going to serve. More than your own health, it's going to spoil the health of others also. So there are certain habits which knowing unknowingly. So if you know about it, good for you. If you don't know, if somebody has told you that there is something that you're pertaining to, try and see that you try and avoid. See, instead of just going to main to nahi karta hu, that's good. That's really nice that you don't do it. But if you do it and somebody actually points you out, try to correct it. We come on to the second stage of what we actually are dealing with. The most important factor, the food hygiene. Please see that when you are not well. See, we are not talking about the parameters of how you're going to cut. We are not talking about how you're going to cook. We'll come on to that later on. But then most of the things which are even preliminary to that and even more important than that is this. If you are not well, please try and report. Why? Because you not being well for whatever reasons of even your skin problems or just having a cough can actually affect the food. Please wash your hands as and when you are into the kitchen or outside the kitchen, when you're going to the toilet or not going to the toilet, even if you're coming out, even then. Terms of not mixing the raw food and the cooked food, which can actually be a contamination. Try and see that whatever cuts you have should be covered. You should be sensible with your clothing and you should not have any loose ends. Interestingly, you should not be having your rings and earrings, or you have your rings on your hand. Nothing should be there, not even watches. That is the protocol for having less bacteria when you're cooking your food. Smoking as it is should not be there. That is something that everybody know. The most important thing, if you can just see the fourth point from the bottom, the waste food should be disposed of properly. More important that people have this habit of spitting into the dustbin, which is again the most hazardous thing that anybody can do. You outrightly, just because of habit, have this habit of spitting it out. But try and see that you don't do that also, because there are flies that are moving. In case there are no flies, that's very good. I really appreciate. But then that is contagious. So try and avoid this habit. The most easiest thing possible is to check, clean, separate, and then cook the food and dispose of the food that cannot be used. Normally, this criteria is actually taken care by our mothers in the kitchen. So they tend to see that there is no wastage. If there is any wastage, there is no wastage actually when mothers cook. So we should also take that as far as possible. Try and see that there is optimum use of whatever ingredients. there is a thing that's going on the background. If you can just see that more employees are absent from the job because the germs which are there, they are there in the production line for 48 hours. So you might actually think that you are contaminating a particular area, but that's actually going to stay for 24 to 48 hours in a due course of time. So as far as possible, try and see. Regarding the checking, we're not talking too much. There are some visual things that you can see. There are certain things which you can wash and remove. There can be some things which you know after you cutting it. For example, when you are actually cutting an apple or an onion or a brinjal, you find some good people staying inside. I'm sure.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
very good. Thank you. So once you see them, you should actually tell them to leave politely so that you can actually prepare your food. You have to segregate the things, separate the raw materials,
Suji hun. Suji hun.
raw food and the cooked food, veg and the non-veg. If non-veg is there on your menu, you can also have the best thing you can do. One important thing about the separation. You have this tendency that once you are actually trimming or peeling your vegetables, you tend to keep it on the side and then you start cooking. And once the entire process is completed, you actually tend to throw the garbage. Try and work it out a little bit different. Once you're done with the peeling, just remove all that which is not required, the mud or the peels into the dustbin, and then you can start to work to cook. Okay. We'll take one more thing before we start. Why cooking is an art? Is there anything that I can talk on? If anybody wants to ask anything at this point of time?
Yes, sir. There is a
Yeah,
question
please.
over here.
Yes, please.
Sir, speaking of hygiene, is it necessary to clean the utensils immediately after use to prevent bacterial growth or attraction of flies, or is it fine to wash after completing the cooking?
It all depends on the time. See, there is no problem if you clean it immediately or you clean it after your cooking process is complete. The two, in both the cases, the bacteria is going to be the same. Because once we're going to come to one slide which is going to talk about bacteria, you'll understand better that they also require time to grow. They're as good as humans. They require temperature, they require time, they require energy and food, and only then they grow. But once your food is completed, take your time, see what happens. Once you are in a hurry to clean your utensils immediately, that the cooking process is going on, kahin ko jal na jaye. So what happens is you are in a haste. So when you're in a haste, you don't do thorough cleaning. So it's always advisable, complete your work. I'm talking about utensils. When you're talking about vegetables, yes, you do it then and there. But when you're talking about utensils, please complete your cooking process comfortably, ragad ke, mast tarike se dho lijiye. Any other questions, ma'am?
So I think you should continue, and
Yeah,
as and when I
Yeah,
get some interesting questions.
Can I just interrupt for a quick minute?
Definitely,
And
sir.
I want
Definitely,
to
sir. Definitely.
I want to just talk to all the participants and tell them to kindly not distract during the session or unnecessarily post any messages which are not relevant. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay. Why it's an art? See, we take care of whatever vegetables we are in. We take care of whatever non-vegetarians we take in. See, you talk about carving. I'll just give you a better example. You talk about carving. You would have tried your hands on with the onion to be very simple, or maybe the tomato, or the easiest of all, the lemon, maybe just cutting into half. So that is something that is the easiest carving you can do. Till the time you not know how to carve, you think that carving is, oh wow, this is great and this chef is doing a fantastic job. Let me tell you one very, very simple thing. With my 18 years of experience, no, I know I don't look all that old, but then yes, 18 years of experience. And what happens is I till today never carve with a carving knife. There is a knife which is specially designed for carving. I never use that. I use a normal knife which is there in your mother's kitchen. Yes. So for any cut, see, what is important is the skill. So you have to learn how to cut. It's not important that you need to have a carving knife to cut it. So that becomes a little dangerous, because see what happens when you don't have a carving knife. You don't do a carving, you will have to. So why I'm showing you, there is a beautiful example and something that interesting about this slide. I've taken just two vegetables, potatoes and carrot. I think everybody can see, and I'm right on this part of potatoes and carrot. You need to cut it the way it has to be cut for it to be called a different dish. what happens? The name of the dishes, though in French, most of the continental dishes are in French. But what happens? You are told to cut, for example, if everybody can see, I'll take the simplest one, large dice. Okay, so when you're cutting the large dice, you suddenly go on, and there are this brunoise, which you can see on the second last from the right. So you tend to make that cuts which are a little smaller in size, little more smaller in size. So what happens is the name of the dish itself changes. When you talk about Macedon mayonnaise, then you talk about brunoise vegetables. So depending on the size of the cut, all of them are cubes. That's the best part. So you talk about a big cube, the name of the dish changes. You talk about a small cube, the name of the dish changes. So you are making something, and in the process of just cutting it, the name of the dish itself changes. So just imagine how important it is for us. The art has to be excelled, and that is only possible when you try on anything possible. Don't just think, no, he's tried on potatoes, I want to work on potatoes, or let me try if it can be done with pineapple. Try with anything that you think it is possible with. I really don't mind cutting a dice with a brinjal. Why not? Do it. Somebody wants to paint it, but it's okay. I'm okay with the vegetables. Blue is not a food color for whosoever is doing it. Okay. One interesting thing when you're cutting, when I tell you that you need to cut a cube, it's so easy. You just have to cut it, and I think many people will relate to French fries. Okay. You can also cut the French fries. There is a system how you're going to do it. I've given you a beautiful example. You take the carrot and you've already peeled it. So you have to remove planks. You have to remove thin planks of it. Then you're going to cut it lengthwise for it to be called as a julienne, which is a matchstick size. And then you're going to chop it fine, which is called the brunoise. So above, you've already seen the brunoise. So now you know to come to the stage of brunoise, this is the process. See, I am more than confident about the skills that you people have. Okay, if I just tell you that you have to make, I know today without actually having a hotel management degree, you can actually make a mayonnaise because you already know about it, you've already tried. But this is how you need to go slow with the art of cooking. Okay, what do you do with the trimmings then? The trimmings can be actually used for soups. Why not? You can actually use it for any other vegetables. You can actually use it for salads. You can use it for anything possible, depending on how much of the piece is left out with you. So what you are going to use is depending on whatever trimmings are there. If you can just relate to the Chinese cuisine, so most of the things are, more than 60 to 80% of the cooking goes on only cutting. Only 20% goes with cooking. So that's how important the art of cutting is. We go on with one nice thing. This I understand, I can be wrong, please correct me if I am. I understand that whenever you cook food, you seldom don't taste it. This is just an interpretation that I've given you. What happens is when you prepare the food, you don't taste the food, you tell the neighbors, dekhna isme barabar hai ki nahi hai. Whether the salt is fine, whether there is something that I need to add, whether it is cooked or not. Why? The first thing that you need to do, please taste it yourself. You stand as a guarantee yourself for the food you're preparing. See, when you don't have the confidence on the food you've made, how do you think the person who is sitting on the table for your dish is going to be confident about it? So the first thing that you need to learn is please taste your food as and when you make it. See, please don't quote me wrong when I say there are vegetarian students in my kitchen who actually prepare non-veg. Tasting is not compulsion for them in particular. But what we insist is you need to taste the food to know how it is. Because once you taste, you're in a better position to understand what is the correction that you can make or what is not there. You need to first know what it is. See, suppose you go to a restaurant, you ask the waiter, I want something like this. The waiter would have tasted the food, that particular dish, to explain it to you. He has to have the knowledge. That is more important. For you, it is a skill and the taste that you need to have for you to explain it to the waiter that this is what it is. This is how it tastes exactly, so that he can explain it further. If you're not directly, because see, chefs are these days, yes, they are actually onto the kitchen, live kitchen. So they are there in front of the guest. But otherwise, there is a connect between the waiter and the chef. If we have any questions, so I can actually take up. Madam, if there are any questions, otherwise I'll just...
Yeah, I would ask them to speak rather than, because I don't find any...
Okay, great. No, it's okay. Then I'll
Yeah.
go on.
So
In
you
case there is
can-
anybody can raise their hand, we can go on with that.
I'd just ask them to be a bit more respectable while they
Yeah,
post
that's very
comments over
important.
here. Yeah, that's my only request, because they're posting it to everybody, and I ask them all to be a bit respectable to everyone over here.
Right, ma'am. No, but even for all those who are actually creating this, I'd actually thank you also, just for your information. The people who is actually creating this, we have also thanked you before I started this class. So I think there is no reason why you should be annoyed. Thank you so much. I'll just continue with my class.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Okay. Yes, please.
sorry to disturb in the middle. I had sent a query in the chat.
No, it's okay. You can ask.
So my doubt was that as a beginner chef, is it advisable to use a carving knife while we are like carving the fruits or any other vegetable, or we can use a regular knife?
See, Manya, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Manya. See, what is important is what you're comfortable with. You think that you can actually maneuver the carving knife, please use the carving knife. If you're comfortable with a normal...
That's why I wanted to. I have used both, so I wanted to know what is more advisable as a beginner.
There is no advice. I am sorry, somebody should stop actually playing around. Okay, Manya. See, whatever you're comfortable with, just go ahead with that. When it comes to skill, I'm telling you one interesting thing. When it comes to skill, it's very important that what you're comfortable with is final. The product will come out good only if you're comfortable with your particular skill. So if you're comfortable with a knife or you are comfortable with a carving knife, go along with the carving knife only. I'm just telling you, the carving knife should not be a hindrance when you don't have a carving knife and you still wanted to carve. That is what I meant to say.
Yes, so one more question. The
Please.
type of cuts that you explained us, like the julienne one, the diced
Right,
ones.
right.
Now,
Yes.
does that affect the consistency or the way the dish comes out, or does
Obviously,
it?
just imagine that you are having a pulao, for example, the fried rice, and you have juliennes of vegetables. Normally, what happens is you have juliennes in the noodles and you have brunoise in the pulao or the fried rice. What happens when you change it? You have straws of cauliflower and carrot and cabbage floating in small bits of rice. So it doesn't go with the theme.
Okay.
Okay, so there is a theme. Once you learn about it, one particular dish goes on with one particular theme.
Okay,
So the mismatch, it might be okay with clothing, but it doesn't really go good with food. Okay, there was this question, I think in one of the premier first few classes, where should the starch be, if I remember. There is this position of the time that is there, the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock. So normally the main course is at 6 o'clock and you can actually place the starch and the vegetables at 10 and 2. Suppose you have two vegetables, you have it at 10 and 2 and the starch goes underneath the main course. That's how it's planned. Okay, presentation wise, yes, please do try some simple cuts. There are a few carving classes that have already taken place. So just keep it at one side. That will really good look nice. There are people who actually tend to keep a whole garlic or a whole onion or a whole mirchi. That's also nice. I'm not saying no, but then try and do something which is possible. Regarding desserts, yes, you can actually take care of the presentation. It's how it looks more good. Just keeping a spoon and a fork and you put a little bit of cocoa powder from your honey, the tea strainer that you talk about. So it's going to look good. Change the conservative mindset. You just don't have to have a bowl or a plate. You can actually do it into glasses. You can do it in cups. These days, people are actually doing the presentation. I am sure one of our chefs actually demonstrated it on a piece of tile. He had presented it. If you remember the burger, I remember the burger. I don't know how many people do. Okay. And then we have the normal presentation. Just give everybody space. See, you in your house, you have space. So give the food also space that they are living their life. That's more important. Instead of you piling it on, there was a time when we used to do, there are certain cuisines, for example, the Indonesian one. So where you have the rice and you actually pile on everything together and then you can just have it because everything is going to be mixed at the end of the day. But then try and see that you can actually demarcate it at its level. I think somebody is getting very
Yeah.
okay. One important thing, please remember, there's a very, I think Hindi say, whenever somebody comes to have the food from you or you are giving somebody food, see that it is he who is going to come, have food and be happy. He might actually be a repetitive customer to you. It should not be that ana khana and dawa khana. See, normally what happens is you tend not to taste the food. You tend to prepare the food with whatever issues. And then what happens is it's going to be a problem for the others. See, what happens when your stomach is upset and you go to the doctor? What is the first thing he asks you? What have you had last evening? So it all comes from food. So try and see that anybody who reaches you or anybody who trespasses your food is going to be healthy and safe. Okay, one more thing we can add on. Little literature on what cooking is all about. We'll talk about the definition, the aims and objectives. It is, you have to put in your heart as and when you want to do something. You have to be passionate for whatever you do. So it's basically application of heat to the food materials that encompasses the food ingredients in an art that has not developed today. It's going on since the time fire was there, and after that lot of technological advancement has taken place. Through this range of cooking methods, you use the tools, and the end result is creating a digestible food that is doing good to the health of or the well-being of people. So a little bit of literature, it's okay. Craftsmanship. Who is your best cook? One answer which I think 99% people say is my mother. I too am in the 99 category, don't worry. 1%, who are the others? Today, the mother's role of cooking has actually been taken by father, mother, brother, sister, whoever is there. So at the end of the day, what we should see is everybody has now gone on to be a good chef. So no, mother doesn't have a competition. I'm not telling about that. The only thing is that everybody is doing their hands-on, and thankfully COVID, I'm telling you, not for the only reason of people trying their hands-on and they're coming out with wonderful products, I must say. So I appreciate everybody in the team who is there, who is doing their hands-on. Even if they're cooking for themselves, it's okay, but then they're doing a good job. What we intend to do with this cooking, we are going to create something that is appealing. See, till the time, how many people actually know that we eat with our eyes first? Yes, aankhon se. How is that possible? Very good question. I know you're not asking, I'm just putting your questions and I'm answering them also. I think Manya has
Manya
a
wants
question
to say
again.
something.
Yes,
Yes,
Manya, go ahead.
Teacher, because that we see that food how is presenting or someone is presenting.
Okay. That comes on to presentation. Very good. That is how you're going to see whether it is appealing to you. Once it looks good, the presentation is good, and you actually feel like, yes, there is something in it. Only then you think, okay, fine, let me taste it. You see it and then you smell it maybe, and then you taste it and then you eat it. Oh my God, so many stages of eating. I thought it was easy. Just take it, put it in your mouth and it's gone. No, it's not that simple. The second important thing is to create a balanced meal. Many people are aware about the nutrition. They have to have adequate nutrients which are there. So it has to be a balanced menu depending on what work you do. Today, all you active people are now having sedimentary work. You had good time on your van, on your school, in the playground and all that, and you used to come back. Now, because of this lockdown, all of you are just sitting. So the intake of yours actually changes with the work you do. Safe for consumption, always good. Home food is the best food I know, but what you are going to prepare should be at par with safe food, which is more important. Even WHO has given the guidelines, which doesn't create any problem, including water is going to be considered to be safe. So it has to be digestible, which is again one more important thing. And what is the last one? It's making it experiential, which means you have to experiment with food. You have to prepare it. You should know what goes first, what goes next. What happens if you do the other way? I know Manya has this question. Sir, what will happen if I go on to the second step first and then go on to the first? Try it. See, more than you are asking questions on these grounds, no? When it is experiential, you should try it what happens when. See, I'll tell you, it's very easy to ride a bicycle. Just put your leg on one of the pedals, put your leg across, and then just ride on, and then just don't bother. Do it, fall down, and then you learn about it. So there is nothing that's going to get spoiled, Manya. Don't worry on that. Because I'll give you one very interesting concept. Next time you prepare something, maybe just a simple potato bhaji, try adding your ginger garlic paste, the mustard seeds, jeera, oil, the potatoes, the onion, the tomatoes, everything together. Everything together. Add a requisite amount of your powdered spices and the water, and see what comes out. No, it's not going to be yucks. Don't worry on that. I'll tell you one important thing on this ground also. You know Puri Jagannath, the Lord Puri Jagannath temple.
Yes.
Today, the mixed vegetable that's prepared there is prepared in the same style. All the ingredients are mixed together, and then it's put into a pot. And we'll not talk about the process, how it's cooked. Please go and search. It's a very interesting and unique concept that's followed only in the temple of Puri Jagannath. There are a few pots, 3 pots that are there, and then they go on with pots above that. They check on the food which is prepared on the above pot, and the down one doesn't get burnt. So you'll understand that concept later. But then yes, you can actually try it by, instead of the stage wise, you can actually try once. All of you, please don't just try this over and over again. It's just to try it once, so you'll know how it actually fares. The objectives of cooking, basically to retain the nutritive value. Normally they say that once you cut the vegetables, don't wash them. Try and see as far as possible. You can wash it before. If you require to wash it later on, use less water. When you're boiling it or parboiling it or blanching it, even then use less amount of water. Okay. There are 2 major things. One is the color of clash of flavors, not clash of titans. Don't worry. So there is this clash of flavors which has to be taken care of. You don't mix. You need to have that minimum knowledge which vegetables can go together, which cannot. So that is one thing that you need to be concentrating when you're doing your cooking. Try and see that you don't undercook or overcook. Why? Because when you talk about the danger zone, I don't know how many people are aware about it. Bacteria grows in this temperature of 5 to 65. Okay. So once you're undercooked, so even then the temperature goes below 65, and overcooked, the entire product gets smashed up and it's gone. So try and see that you pertain to the standards of cooking, and then try and maintain the original color. There are a lot of times when you've seen the green vegetables going brown because you're not pertained to the standards of the principles of cooking. It should never be covered, for example. Add a little bit of salt. Okay, whenever you cook boiled vegetables, there's a tip for every one of us. See, every vegetable has something to do with salt or something to do with sweetness. So next time you boil any vegetables, take bare minimum amount of water, but try and take little bit of salt and little bit of sugar together. So what happens if you're, for example, boiling the carrots? The sweetness of the carrot will retain even after boiling, which otherwise what happens, once you boil the carrots, it's just piece of soya that's going on here and there. You don't have that taste of the carrot, which is more important, especially when now in winter season, we are in a season of carrots, and you find that they are just fiber. So try and see that you can actually work on that. Whenever you cook the food, it definitely lasts longer and tastes better. So that's the reason why even early man came up from that invention of fire, and he also thought I'll better cook food than have the raw ones. Okay, a small little story time. Don't bother about the lines that are coming through, but then this story is a very simple one. Don't worry. We are talking about practicing the art of silence. Silence is basically what is the cooking art. See, it's not something that is only bookish. You don't just have to refer recipes to go ahead. Whenever you're trying to work, I just taken the first example that I've learned with A to Z, A for apple. So when you're taking the apple, you need to learn about the technicalities of what apple is all about. You need to know, okay, it is something that is going to get brown because of oxidation if it is cut. There is a core which is there in the center, which is not edible, which has to be removed. So you need to work on the apple first. The second, try and remove what is not required. Okay, whether you're removing the peel, if it is required, keep it. If it's not required, remove it. You're not going to definitely use the seeds, so you need to remove that. And then you prepare whatever you want to. You want to prepare the apple chips, you want to prepare the apple pie, you want to prepare the apple and red cabbage salad, you want to prepare some squash, all choice is yours. If I talk so much about apples, I know what's going on in your mind. I think this is what you're going to do. No, I'm not against the Apple computers. I'm just telling you that apples are not easy to work with, but nothing is easy and everything is easy. It's how you take it. So now that you've already taken the plunge to come on to the Cook a Dream challenge, we'll go a little bit. Plentiful of methods which you will study slowly. You will keep doing. It's very easy for me to tell, just deep fry, just boil it, just steam it, just blanch it. Many people have got well versed with it. There are plentiful of things. Needless to say, we'll just go with the topmost and the bottommost. The topmost, we have 3 different mediums of cooking. One being the dry medium, the fat medium, and the liquid medium. Depending on that, the cooking methods are characterized. But what we need to understand is transfer of heat happens with 3 different methods, which we have actually learned in science. There is nothing. We just have to relate it to what we are doing today, whether it is convection, conduction, or radiation. Clear? Then we go on to food science. So there are certain processes which are there, whether it is biological, chemical, or physical. There are some adulterants which are there in food, which can be removed by us. Why? Because the food poisoning happens with this particular system. Once we have contaminated food, so that goes on to the cycle with the time and temperature that is there, where there is growth of bacteria, that causes the food poisoning. So what we need to do understand here is, first of all, we need to be safe. We need to employ safe methods and ensure that the food we prepare at the end is also safe. Okay, it's a management theory actually. It's a little big, but then I definitely don't mind discussing it here. It's called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. There are a lot of needs a person needs to live and enjoy his life. The first of all is physiological needs, which entails the air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing. Please believe me, bacteria absolutely goes in our style. It goes in our style. It also requires air. It also requires moisture. It also requires food. It requires the temperature to grow, and it requires the time. So everything that a human requires is something that bacteria also requires. So you want to cut any of these, that is where you cut the growth of bacteria. And what are the vectors of bacteria? The bacteria can be transferred from any means, even air. But what is more important is you. Okay, one more illustration. Everything is in place in this particular photograph. Nothing is in order. Please mind my words. Everything is in place. You have all the equipments required. You have all the manpower required. Everything is there, but nothing is in order. This is something that shows the attitude in your workplace. So like I was just telling you, when you're actually peeling off your vegetables, so you need to throw them out in your dustbin, which is to be covered. So there are a lot of things that you need to ensure that you do it in the process. Don't wait that you're going to do it at the end. Unlike utensil washing. I remember somebody had just asked me if we can wait for the utensils. Definitely yes. But then see that the way you work. See, it is very important that you see the process. See, why do we have live kitchens today? Just because you're sure that, okay, fine, he's preparing it in a nice manner, he's clean enough, and he's using the right stuff. So that is what has to be portrayed when you are there in the kitchen and you're actually delivering something. So when you're preparing something, somebody else passes by and he sees that you're working with dirty hands or whatever. Okay, so do you think he's actually going to like the food or he's going to appreciate the food after having it? Definitely not. So even when you're working, see that you are taking care of the cleanliness. Yes, Ms. Lakshmi, if I can answer you. I think Ms. Lakshmi has raised her hand. I think 2 more participants have raised their hand. Please go ahead, ask your questions, please.
So,
Yes, please, Manya.
so when you mentioned about the sugar and the salt while you're cooking stuff, so for recipes such as the tomato sauce that we make for Italian dishes, we usually add sugar to reduce the cooking time from 4 to 5 hours to 1.5 hours. So, so does that happen in most of the dishes, or does it have sometimes have a catalyzing effect, or sometimes it affects the flavor?
Okay, if I can just add on, Manya, you add the sugar in the tomato not to, this is my understanding, that you actually have to remove the acidic nature of the tomatoes because of which you add the sugar.
It helps to reduce the cooking time.
That is a secondary part. If you actually have if you actually cook it properly, it's going to take lesser time to cook. Don't worry on that. It is just that, see, previously when I mentioned on the sugar and the salt, it was for merely boiling the vegetables. When you are going to boil the vegetables and keep it later on, it is for that. And now when you're talking about these things, for example, when you're at you give the example of tomato, so I'll give you the example of spinach. So when you're actually boiling the spinach, you actually add a little bit of salt. You're aware about it, Manya?
Yeah.
Retain the color also. More than having the saltiness of the spinach intact, you also enhance the color. The same thing goes for your tomatoes also. The sugar might not actually have long way to go with that, but then yes, the acidic nature of the tomatoes is reduced. If I can have the next question, please. They are raising their hands. If you can ask your questions, I'll be more than happy to answer you.
Yeah, there is a question here, sir. After this corona pandemic, the industry is the industry as good as it was before for chefs inspiring students? So.
Definitely yes. Definitely yes. See, you cannot blame the COVID for anything. There have been epidemics also. There have been conditions, but the conditions in the hotels have not changed. Believe me. If I'm talking about the hospitality industry, I belong to it. So nothing much has changed. Instead, there are even stringent and more better methods which have been employed by the hotels to work. Whether you talk about receiving, I don't know how many people know whether they were washing the vegetables or not. You had all this prejudice, no? Whether they are preparing good food or not, whether taking good ingredients or not, whether they've cleaned this thoroughly or not. So all that is being taken care of. So there is no issues as far as the, see, I understand because of no business, there is no employment, too much of employment. New recruits are lesser. I agree on that percentage. But then yes, there is no problem as far as COVID situation or after COVID situation is concerned. It's going to take some time. Definitely not as much business. As much business we were doing in maybe February this year. So we might actually go on with 50% even in next June. I'm not telling about the business, but then yes, there are no conditions having any problem for any of the people in kitchen or opting for kitchen. Instead, the entrepreneurship things have come up a lot much. Or maybe I'll just go on with the session. I think
yes, sir. Yeah.
We can just sit on to take on the questions, please.
Yeah, so I think we will get done with the session and then we'll leave the session open for questions then.
Don't worry, I'm not going to take a long more session. It's
no, I thought that yes, we would no. So we could take the questions. Maybe the questions that they have are coming up in your presentation now. So,
yeah. Let's see if it can answer. Otherwise, I'm always here.
Okay. So there is one question though. Sir, what's the story behind the recipe you created, which is pineapple chicken?
This is a secret. How do I share it? I know it is there in the National Library of Australia. That's the good part. So I can definitely share it to you sometime. I'll share it with Sumit sir. So later on he will share it with the rest of you also. No, there is nothing special. So it's just that it's a creation that was done in my kitchen, and that got its way to the National Library of Australia. So good for me. Let's see. I'll definitely share it to you. There is nothing that is secret. Don't worry. Yes, ma'am.
There's another question, sir. Can girls become chefs in international hotels like executive chefs?
If we can rate out of 100, I'm giving you 101%. There are 101% chances of a girl or a lady being a chef in anywhere in the world. We have had plentiful of them. I have a lot of my girl candidates who are there from my institute who are actually pursuing their masters or they're otherwise also employed in many of the foreign properties in hotels abroad. Yes, definitely yes. Definitely yes. It's how you take it. You are to need to have the passion. See, for example, what used to happen, age-old thing, when I graduated in 1996, So that time they used to say that, okay, fine, this is the world, and you want to earn more, you have to go to a foreign country, and you earn more when you are going abroad. Later on now, recently, when I was working with the industry, I found out if you are passionate enough and you have the skill, India is ready to pay. So there is nothing like just abroad pays. There are definitely the salaries more in abroad. There is definitely salary which is more in the cruise liners, etc., etc. Not to mention that. But then yes, for you to be capable is more important. You have the finish of the art. You will be paid here, sitting here. Don't worry. You don't have to go and struggle anywhere. You are ready. It's going to pay you here itself. And for girls, yes, definitely safe and definitely a positive thing. Don't
Excuse me,
just
sir.
don't. I'm sorry. Don't just go on with all the major concentration of male chefs coming onto all the cookery programs. Don't go with that.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, sorry for interrupt.
Not at all.
Sir, actually, I was thinking for this course only, and I have also joined this course.
Okay.
So, how much I can expect my salary as a fresher and after 1 year?
Okay. There is something interesting about this course. First of all, you get a job before you are getting your degree. But more important than that, everything is going to be taught to you, like it's going to be taught to everybody. So there is some relation between your schooling that you've just graduated from and the hotel management job or the degree that you're talking about. All of you were taught in the same building, same teachers, same infrastructure, everything in the school. I don't know your name. I'm sorry. I'm talking to
Akash, sir.
Akash. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Akash, you've been to school, so all your teachers were the same. The infrastructure was same. The books were same. The syllabus was prescribed by your board. But did all of you get the same percentage?
No, sir.
Good. That answers your question. That once you're there in the 3 years or 4 years of your hotel management, your salary solely depends on your interest and your efforts.
Yes, sir. At least can I know about the starting age as a fresher?
See, if I talk about, you know Oberoi's?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Even Oberoi's as a chain hotel, which is across the world, that also offers you a salary of 10,000 rupees today. So don't just go with, see, it is too early for you to talk about the salary. You'll have to actually equip yourself this 3 years or 4 years of whatever your degree is. And then you can call the shots of asking how much salary you're going to get. There are people who are getting a salary of 10,000. There are people who are getting a salary of 45,000 to start as a fresher immediately in the campus interview. I have my students here. They are the same people I have taught in the same batch, same kitchen facilities, everything is same. The only thing is how much you put in efforts is more important than what you've learned or the degree in itself. Okay? So you'll have to really work nice if you really want to be a good chef or anything, any line in hotel management for that reason. Any other question I need to?
No, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Going simple, I'll just take in the questions from Akshat and rest of them once I'm through. There are a few more slides. Okay. The first of all things, please have respect for your uniform, for the ingredients, for the equipments that are there. More importantly, your colleagues. It's very important. See, there are times when you actually need to ask help from somebody. Please take in the help from your colleagues. There are times when the equipments are dangerous. So try and see that your parents are around or somebody known person is there who can actually take care of the equipments, because there are a few issues which have come of the safety in the kitchen. So that has to be considered. The rest of it is simple. We'll just go on to the third one. Please be physically and mentally present. There are times when you've been told, "Dekhte rehna, doodh ubal na jaye," and you keep seeing and the doodh ubal gaya. So what happens is you've been told, "Doodh dekhte rehna," so you are seeing. So good for you, but then that is what is important. Please be physically and mentally present. Physically present, mentally absent, it'll actually cause accidents. So you should know who is actually your audience, who is going to have the food. So cater to them. And the last that I was just talking to Akash, please ignite your passion. See that whatever you prepare has to be good. It need not be ooh wow. It has to be very good. There is this something. Okay. The first institution you've learned, this is my depiction, is from your mother or from your teacher. Like you go to a school or how you've learned. The only thing what you do is, it's the passion that has led you to be here on this forum today. it is always important for you to dream big, for which you need to work very, very hard. And subsequent to that, the biggest reward for anything well done is doing it yourself. So first take the help of somebody, take in the best thing that you can do, and then work. Like now Manyata is going to work on something, Manya, sorry. So then it comes on. See, there are times when there are fires. No, this is flambe, don't worry. This is not fire in the kitchen. Innovation wise, try to first understand there is this has to be done to this particular vegetable. For example, lady's finger. You know what has to be done before you can wash it, or what you can do after you wash it. What has to be done with the potatoes after you cut it. What has to be done with the cauliflower, whether it has to be put into salt water to remove the worms or whatever. So that is something that you need to learn first. Innovative wise, hands-on, you are the best people. I used this bulldozer only to play when I was a child. You're actually using it to put some jam onto the bread. Oh my God. This is what is innovation you people are all onto. And for this, I give you 100 out of 100, seriously. So what you need to do when you're preparing food, keep it simple. Sophistication, see, the name might be huge. There might be a lot of things that are there. Sophistication, beautiful, ooh, wow. But then try and keep it as simple as possible. Elegant. Okay. What is more important is the E is equal to mc square. Everybody knows about it. The energy is equal to mass into the speed of light. So here, what we're talking about, the mass is the size of what you're preparing. Take it in small chunks, but then prepare too many times. Normally what happens whenever you try something, no, you just try one, you present it, you plate it, you click photographs, you send it on Insta, and you forget it. Please try the second time. Why not? Please try the second time. Increase the volume. What happens is you do it once and you leave it. You just prepare for 2 or 4 and then you finish it off. Try and work it on too many. Please understand the individual characteristics of food, the heat transfer that we have already spoken. So we'll not go too much on that. This is the nice way I've just taken how you present your food. You make the lava cake and you just put a small little caption onto that. This is what makes fun. See, just preparing it, you've taken all the efforts and definitely that's going to come out good. Whoever has it definitely has a lot of praises for you. But then it is the way you present, not just the food, even the photographs. So you're already doing it. One thing that you should know, why I was talking about elders being there in reach, there are cases. No, this is just a news that I've got it from some newspaper, which says that firefighters were called. Why? Because of some problem in the kitchen. There was a fire and the firefighters were called and nobody was affected though. But this is something that you need to seriously take care of. One more thing which I don't know how many people actually do. Don't have to raise your hands. Just tell yourself that you do it for the question which is going to come now. Yes, I do the cooking. Yes, I do the cleaning. ये हमको थोड़ी करना होता है. Chef कभी clean नहीं करता है. Chef only cook करता है. No, it's not like that. See, you should have.
I do, sir.
Very good. I really appreciate. See, it's very important for a chef to do the cleaning himself or herself. You talk about the stove, you talk about the utensils, you talk about the sink. Why not? In this also there is some parameters. You normally see that, oh no, there is a lot of clogging in the sink, so you tend to put your left hand. The wrong hand on your part. No. Do it with the right. Why not? When you're cleaning utensils, you're going to have the same food in the same utensil tomorrow. Why not use your right hand? So be brave enough. See, it is only in the mindset, I'm telling you. Cleaning is not a very tedious job, but then doing it with passion. As much passion for cooking, as much passion for cleaning. Okay. So one last thing before I go. Whenever you're doing anything, if there is something that's gone wrong, please put these 4 questions to you and you can be a better chef. What happens is you normally feel, "Agli baar main acha banaunga." You tend to go straight away saying the next time is going to be a better one. But what is more important is please try and see what has gone wrong. Why did it happen? And who is responsible? Normally nobody takes it on them. It is not about just saying, sir, meri galti hai, theek hai, matlab maine kar di galti. But then you have to be responsible. What is being responsible? It's not accepting. Mere acceptance is not taking the responsibility. Try and see that you don't make the same mistake again. Okay, I'll give a very on a lighter note. Why shouldn't we create? They say that one mistake made should not be repeated. Why do they say that? Any one person can answer, please, if they want to. Otherwise, I have one more answer to say. Why do they say that you made this mistake, don't repeat it? Anyone? No one? Yes, Manya?
So I guess because it makes sure that you don't go through the consequences that you're going through right now again. And it
Okay.
makes you remember the faults in your dish or whatever you're doing.
Oh, great. This was an elderly talk, Manya, I must say. Okay, I'll give you something on a lighter note. Very lighter note. Don't take me seriously this time. Huh? You don't have to repeat a mistake because you can create a new one. Okay, see, I understand you should not be making any mistakes at all, but then you done it, try not to repeat it. Okay, so one last thing. This is how I work. So these are my words. Don't have to take me all that seriously. See what is possible at your level, what you can do, and do it at the best of your possibility. I hope this is doing good to you. So we've just come across a few hygiene tips on personal hygiene, work area hygiene, food hygiene. We touched about a few aims and objectives. Cooking as an art and science. We'll come back to you. We'll come back to whoever is talking on this. And then there's one last thing that you are doing a fantastic job. I really appreciated that. And I am going to see that you're going to do even more good. And one last thing that I can talk about. Thank you for being such a great audience to me. I hope it was
Excuse
good.
me, sir. Excuse me.
Yes, please.
Sir, what type of book can I refer to become a better chef?
Okay, you don't
For
have
my
to
future.
see. First of all, you need to clear your basics more than books. I will not quote anybody. Then I will tell that I also have a few books on my name. It is not really important for you to see which book you referred. It is for you to see whether your basics are clear. You refer a local author, you refer an international author, or you can actually write a book yourself. The main thing in to be a chef is to clear your basics. One interesting thing, just to add on, I don't know if it is Akash who is talking.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I remember your names now. One interesting thing, in the final year campus, one of my students, he was opting for Indian cuisine. Indian cuisine in particular, he was opting for a gravy section. Okay, Indian, very much Indian. And in the interview, he was asked, the second question that he was asked was very interesting. Tell me 5 oils used in Chinese cuisine. And because he was solely concentrating on Indian, he would say that I know every gravies, I know every combinations, this and that, everything, okay, fine. But interestingly, he was asked a question on Chinese cuisine and it was this. And believe me, obviously he could not answer because he was not ready for that. Today, nobody is looking forward whether you're doing a specialization. You have to be multi-dimensional. Mind you, I'm not talking about multi-skilling. There are 2 different words if you can take it. Multi-skilling is when you can do too many things at the same time. Multi-dimensional. When you are into Indian, you should also have thorough knowledge about Chinese. You should have thorough knowledge about continental or bakery or whatever. So that is how it goes. So there are no books, just clear your basics. And once your basics are clear, anybody will take you in the job because he know you can be trained. They know you can work because you know the basics. They are not looking forward that you can create something extravaganza, you can create an extraordinary array of buffet. No, they're not looking for that. Believe me, any property I'm talking about, needless to say, with no exceptions. They just see you in your interview that your basics are absolutely clear. Your basics are clear. You can train with them because everybody has a probation time. So you get trained onto the standards of the property, a restaurant or hotels, and then you can work on it. No problem at all. Yes, please.
What is our main quality to be a Michelin star?
Michelin star. Perfection. Perfection. I can quote one of the institutions that is there in Hyderabad, which actually tells you to prepare a particular dish as many times you can prepare during the due course of your entire day. Suppose you have your college from 9 to 5:30, so you work at from 9 to 5:30 in that particular institution also. But what happens is they give you only one product, whatever XYZ, and they tell you to prepare it once. Once you prepare it again. Once you're preparing it again, as many times you can prepare, and they see the consistency at the end. So what happens is, see, obviously, 2 times you clap doesn't sound the same. So how can 2 times a food being prepared be the same? It's not possible, I know. But with that minimum variance, it is important that you maintain the consistency. You know why I'm so happy to quote Sachin Tendulkar here? Consistency. See, I'm not talking about how many times he's got out on 99. That is also consistently he's been out. But then how has he performed consistently throughout his tenure is what is important. Getting me? So Michelin star is a very big thing. So you'll have to count on your basics. Always start with the basics. Then you go on and improve, and then you rise. It's good to aim. It's good to have the goal of being a Michelin star someday. You have to dream big too. But then there was one more word regarding the dream big. Work hard. So like your friends do, if you do the same, so you will also be employed. That's not a problem at all. But then Michelin, perfection. It comes only with checking on your own self from time to time. And please believe me, it is not quantity. Huh? It's not about how many things you can prepare, how many things you are explored. See that whatever you prepare has to be the best of it. Yes, please. Madam, I think we have some time for taking the questions.
Yeah, in case you want to. They can go ask. Okay. Yeah, you told me you're going to be there. Yes, any questions? You can just shoot your questions.
Yeah.
So one question about the method of cooking.
Yes.
So there are like many fancy restaurants use methods like sous vide machines to cook a perfect consistency.
Yes.
So like we are home cooks, like we are learning how to cook, and we don't usually get that perfect consistency as you talk about. So are there any tips that you can suggest so that we can get that like almost similar consistency that we always get, like the chefs always get?
See, I'll tell you what. How I'm going to explain it. Just put one particular recipe. For example, you're talking about any dish. Just put it on Google. Okay. Do you get one recipe?
No.
Okay. You got 1,000 recipes. So there are very many forms that you can prepare the same item with the same name. Okay. So there is no see. There is a way how standard recipe card used to be followed in hotels, which has not been followed. It exists. I don't know if you're aware, there is something called as a standard recipe card. So what happens is somebody had documented sometime when they made the menu. So they had documented a small piece of recipe. Anybody prepares that, the product is going to come out something more or less similar. Okay, so it was a standard recipe. These days that standard recipe is not there. You like a little bit of garlicky taste, so you add a little bit of garlic. Somebody else doesn't like, so it doesn't. Somebody skips some items, somebody adds some more items. So until unless you not take the standard recipe, it's not possible. Second, answering your question regarding the consistency, try and prepare on lesser amounts. And see, it will be difficult for me to theoretically tell you how you're going to adjust the consistency or how you're going to prepare on which method. It has to be a case specific thing. You talk about one particular thing, I might be in a better position to answer you, because there can be, sorry, there can be some certain technicalities, how that particular item can be made better. Okay, so you shoot that questions directly. So I really don't mind if it comes through Sumit sir or Deepa madam. So you can enroute it. So I'll not be having any problems to answer you back.
Okay. So some people have asked, when will we get to receive lectures from you, sir? I am sure these are your students. So
once I get the time, once it is scheduled by our institute, so that is a personal question. It's okay. Once I am there in the timetable, no, so I am in. Don't worry.
Sir, can we pursue our career in IHM? That is another question. That's
okay. Okay. Again, that goes on to my front. Yes, there is an all India level joint entrance exam that you need to clear, which comes in December, January. So there is an ad that comes in, and then you can actually apply for it. You can apply for it online also. And there is a entrance exam which you need to give. And after that, there is a counseling, and then you are in. So just meet the particular requirements and you are on. And allocation to the institutes definitely on all India merit level. So all India ranking is there. So that is something that is there. So please go on to that. This is not the time where we can, for this forum, we can discuss on IHM, please. Thank you.
Abhay wants to ask some question. I have a question, sir, but I don't see his question anymore. So
it's okay. If Abhay wants to ask it, good for me. Otherwise, we can go on to the next.
Yeah, Akshat wants to ask something, sir. As you
Yes.
know that we wash vegetables with water, but now there are some chemicals through which we can wash them. So what's your advice on that?
See, if you are having the agents, please use them. If you don't bother. Just wash them thoroughly. Simple and straight. Even the normal water, cleaning it thoroughly, actually removes a lot much. Akshat, okay. Akshat, you should have seen the demo of washing your hands. When we started off with washing of hands for 20 seconds. If you remember, see if you are pertaining to that particular standard before. You used to put some solution, hand wash, and then you used to just go away with, just see that the bubbles are there and then the bubbles are gone. But then when we were talking about the 20 seconds, you were a little thorough on that. So just go thorough with the water, that will also do good, no problem. Just take note of vegetables which have mud in it. There is a way how you're going to clean the coriander or the spinach, which have a little bit of mud. So what happens is you have to keep it in standing water. Mind you, there are two kinds of washing. One is running water, one is standing water. Running water, when you can just put it underneath the tap and the water flows. For example, you can do it for tomatoes. When you're talking about the standing water, you do it for spinach and maybe coriander for that reason. So you just take the leaves, put it into the standing water. You just take a bowl full of water, a little bit more of water, just put all that, just dip it so that all the mud particles actually settle down and remove it from top. Don't again stain it. That is a normal flaw that people do. Okay, just take that and I think that's how you're going to clean it. So thoroughly cleaning it water, actually it does good.
So, as we are washing vegetables with a few chemicals and all, it is safe, sir, for consuming us because we are using directly now, sir.
Okay, regarding using of directly, I think there is a parameter which is given, which is called ppm, parts per million. There are a required amount of drops that you need to add to requisite amount of water before which you can actually put it. For example, you talk about 5 ml in I think 5 liters of water or something. There is something called as ppm, parts per million. So just concentrate on that, which is very important. Unlike what you do for your sanitizing, no, you just take your hand, put the spray, and it's done. It's not the case with vegetables. It's slightly different. You have to dilute it for it to be washed. And yes, if it is having a ISI mark and it is certified that it can be used for vegetables, I think you can go for it. Try and go with standard brands and not just local brands for sanitizers or for anything that you're using for cleaning.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
So one more question. It's
Yes.
regarding the plating topic that you talked about.
Yeah.
So as about there are some some pointers that the usual as the chefs use to make it more enhanced. Like if we are making a dessert, they usually plate it on the side of the plate to make it more appealing. So any pointers that we should remember? We can just go as we like.
Okay, there are different styles. If you remember, there was our chef who had put some olive oil and some herbs on the plate on the side.
Yes.
Okay, so that is his plating style. Regarding this desserts being plated on the side or it has to be in the center, no, there is nothing like that. What was there before? If you know, there is a brim, there is a rim on the plate. If you've seen the
Yeah.
plates,
Yes.
there is a slight little depression. Previously, what used to happen, they used to engulf the entire thing. When they used to do the plating, now they used to take the entire thing. Slow and steady, the portion size has decreased. First, the amount of food that used to be put on a plate, now it is lesser. Even if there are accompaniments, you will see that there are micro desserts today. Okay,
Yes.
that is solely that it should look good. When you take a bigger thing, it doesn't look good. So you take on a smaller thing. That's why micro desserts and micro main courses are coming into place. There is no standard. You have to see how it's going to be looking good and very important, operational convenience. Now, what is that? Okay. When you're having your food, see, if we talk about a glass of water, the actual concept says that it should be on the right. But for Indian food, when you have it with your hand, it has to be in the left. But the standard says it has to be in the right. So we are not changing any standards. What you need to pursue is that, for example, he's going to have the main course or the dessert. The sauce has to be adjoining at the 10 o'clock or the 2 o'clock position. And the dessert has to be at 6 o'clock when he's having it. You're sitting, so you cannot have something which is far away. So you have to see how good you can. Okay, Manya?
Yes, sir.
Not convincing.
Yes, I'm convinced. I'm just processing what you said, like what I can do with that.
Yeah, you can play around with the plate. Don't worry on that. You can put it on any side. You can put it. Actually, you know what? Next time, try having the entire food and the plating and the presentation in half the plate. Try this.
So Manya, I would like to say that Manya is an all-rounder. She has interest in each and everything. Like,
great.
be it something legal or financial or food or whatever. I mean, she will come up with questions for in-depth questions for every session. So
I'm feeling more connected only because of Manya for the first reason.
So she has the right questions to ask. I told her, Manya,
I'm seriously telling you, try something which is not conventional, Manya. So next time what happens is you normally take the food one place and you do the presentation on the rest of the plate. So now just concentrate on taking only half the plate. Don't use the other half at all. Try and see, you'll actually work out wonders. And only thing when you're doing in the presentation, don't use anything that is not edible.
Okay.
Including flowers. There are times when you actually take the hibiscus flowers. They are edible otherwise, but not on your plate. There are times when you actually take in the small little leaves of the pineapple. They normally put it onto the salad bars, if you have seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it's not edible, try and avoid it. That is the simplest thing that you can do. Because what you want is, like I've shown you one small little presentation of the carrots that are there in your plate garnish. You have to eat that also. Don't waste anything. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. And I think just that 1 hour, 1.5 hours that we were talking about was just a breeze. Like, keeping everyone engaged to a lot of inputs, a lot of things that they would have come across for the very first time. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Yes, today was a little troublesome, I would say, because there were a lot of students, a lot of attendees posting stuff, scribbling and things like that. A few discouraging comments also, but I would say tell all the people who are dreaming here, be bold to dream, and it's not going to be a breeze, like attaining your dreams. There are going to be difficulties when you are trying to dream and you're trying to attain what you have set out with at the outset. So I would say that yes, dare to dream and follow your dreams and put in all the hard work that is necessary, so that you don't come here and post a comment that, oh no, this is not possible. It is possible. So keep dreaming, and that is what Cook a Dream is all about. Thank you so much,
ma'am. Thank you, Deepa ma'am. Thank you so much, sir. Before you can thank, I must tell that
I will ask Sumit also to say something.
If I can please put in a word. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir,
for your time, for a beautifully conducted session, which was absolutely knowledgeable. And my apologies for the distraction.
Hey, not at all, sir. Not at all.
Between, we will try and see from the next session onwards to not promote all these guys to the panelist level, where they have the liberties of getting into interaction mode as much. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Thank you,
sir.
All the participants that are here. I had noticed Magaraj sir was also around when we had started.
Sir.
You could please thank him for us.
Definitely, sir.
For coming in here.
Thank you so much.
Blessing this. Yeah. Thanks a lot.